And ready? I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. And I hit 1. I want you to snap into certainty. There's no question. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Certainty. Show me certainty for how do you sit in a state of, oh yeah, Hank's up. He's like, I'm up. Uncertainty sits, certainty stands. When we break the tipping point, when we go over the edge where it's 3 million every month and 3 million's a walk in the park, guess who the game changes for?
All of us.
Everybody in the room. I am with my beautiful goddess of a wife for over 33 years.
Mike is now sharing his formula for a full life, allowing people to grow and expand their entire lives to achieve the impact that they want while building the wealth that they desire.
So if you are a business owner, if you run a mastermind group, you want to be involved with Mike. Take it from me, somebody who's worked with him on multiple levels. Mike is the real deal.
If there's one person in my list of who to surround yourself with, it's Mike Aguilera.
And now, please welcome Mike Aguilera.
Boom, there we have it. All right. First test run of my new intro video there. So tell me what you think of the video, everybody. Tell me what your thoughts are of it. I was super excited there. I'm so happy to have you in my world today. I really am. I hope you have pen and paper. This is one of my favorite subjects to talk about in the whole world, certainty. And I'm going to talk to you. I have to set a stage because some of you have been in my world. Well, how long have you been in my world? Like somebody like type in the chat bar how long you either know me, been listening to me. This will give you a little sense. Also, tell me where you're at in the world. So I know, tell me what you do, 5 years, 18 months, 3 years, 2.5 years, Colorado, 6 months. All right. And if your camera's not on, do me a favor. Love to have your camera on unless you're naked and totally in an inappropriate environment. Otherwise, I want to have you. I want to be able to see you. Hey, Leslie, nice to see you. Jacob, what's going on? Brendan, Mr. Joe, Papa in the house, what's up? Hank Hayes, Jennifer, Sherry. I'm going to go through. So some of you that do know me, you have to just like hear me talk about myself a little bit, right? Because I have to set a stage, because if you don't really know me, then you're like, why should I sit here and listen to this tattoo guy for the next solid hour? And I hope you're leaving at least an hour. But I'd love for you to tell me in the chat bar, like, is it okay if I stop when we're done, but I don't stop like exactly in the hour? Can you give me an okay? I know a lot of people, it's like, you know what, 1 hour, we're done. We all turn back into a pumpkin. But like, I'd rather finish when we need to finish. And I'm committed to this journey with you. And also all of you hanging out, thanks for helping me warm up. I will be doing something tomorrow night with the Freedom Tribe, but then next week I'll be speaking to 1,200 people in Tennessee. Is anybody going to Tennessee? If you are, type in Tennessee. And so you're going to help me get all warmed up here. Let's bring on some slides so we could be nice and efficient here. This is going to be called this is the certainty system, right? And what I love most about this image right here about certainty is, you could see like there's the guy, but then there's inside, and this could be a guy, girl. It's like the inside of you creates everything. It creates everything, right? And how many of you already know you're going to want a replay of this? I think Leslie gets the award besides my wife with 37 years there. And if you want the replay, yeah, just type in replay and I'll tell you exactly how to get it. All right. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it for 72 hours. You got to be in this group. It's real simple to get in a group. It's free. Okay. So there's like no worries there. Here's the QR code. Just take your cell phone real quick and click it. But the team's going to put the link in the chat bar. So just go there. If you're new in my world, just go click the link, suggest to come in, answer the 3 questions. We'll get you in there. You'll get the replay. I promise you're going to want this replay and you're going to want to play it for a whole bunch of people in your world. Also, who's already, who's read Mind Power? Type in like read it. Who's got it but didn't read it? So maybe put gonna. And who doesn't have it? Say, give it to me. Give it to me. Okay, reading it. Read it 3 times. Yeah, read it. Okay, reading it. Love it. Gonna. All right. I'll tell you like really, Joe Papa says, give me that shit. Okay, cool. So go to the link right here and you'll get the free book. And I think if you cover shipping, but Jen, hit up Joe Papa. We got you covered, brother. We'll get one out to you tonight or tomorrow. All right. I want you, if you have it and haven't read it, please do it. Please read it. Not like I don't make any money off like a book, but what I do get is I get real satisfaction from Facebook messages to me saying, I just read the book, just applied it, and this has changed in my life. So I believe the book's going to do that for you too. This is a life training. Okay. That's what this is. It's to help you enhance your life and gain certainty in life. However, one of my greatest awakenings was in order to have bigger business, you need to be a bigger you, right? You got to have a bigger life. You've probably heard me say it before and write it down again. In order to 10x anything, you have to 20x yourself. Now, if you're going to build a $32 million business and you're going to build the top training and implementation organization in the world to help plumbers, HVAC, electricians grow, you better have a sense of certainty to even create the thought, execute on the thought, and build that into reality. And there's a nice picture of me and my beautiful wife right there. Disclaimer for you guys, I do it on all trainings, like just so you know, I'm not your attorney. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your accountant. You have to do your own due diligence on everything I say. I'm just going to give you insight based off of 3 decades of learning, based off of building empires, building a wife. No, I didn't build a wife. She built herself. Being in a relationship for a long time with my beautiful wife. And here's the other thing. We're not going to take credit for your massive results either. You're going to do the work. You're going to get the results. And here's what I know. And you tell me, you just do a fist in the chat or a boom. If you could relate to this at all now, today, last week, last month, within the last year, have any of you had confusion? Tell me in the chat bar. Confusion? Have any of you had uncertainty? Like, come on. The pandemic, not only did it create uncertainty, we have what's called the aftershock. I don't know if anybody's ever told you about this. The first 2 years of COVID is not the problem. It's the aftershock that's the problem. It's the way of uncertainty and doubt and fear and lack of clarity and lack of confidence. And could there be a little bit of not trusting yourself? Like, can we just, everybody do this? Like, humor me a minute. Put your hands in front of your face like you're going to pull a mask off. Can you just pull the mask off and just throw it aside? Throw it aside. I don't care who you are. So many people put a mask on and you start to not trust yourself. But let's get real. If you can relate to not trusting in yourself or not believing in yourself, can you just type in a boom in the chat bar? There's no judgments here. We're only going to have curiosity, because there's been plenty of times I've questioned myself. I didn't trust myself. I lack of confidence. You're not born with confidence. I don't believe you are. You're created a model over time, right? And if you look at the model of what most of your family did, like, I don't know, maybe they built confidence or maybe they built confusion on what they said, right? Like, I don't know, money doesn't grow on trees. Does that build confidence? I don't think it builds confidence. You have to work really, really hard to win. You have to grind it out to win. I don't know. I don't think that's true. I want to share with you how I found certainty and give you models to find more certainty in yourself. This is me. That's where it starts, right? Electrician by trade. Some of you can relate to being in a field or being a tradesperson. If you're a tradesperson, type in trade proud. Trade proud. There's some of the hardest working humans on earth here. And this is me doing, like, if you're going to be 20 something years old and you're going to fist fight and bid on jobs, right? Bid on jobs that you're going against people that have been in the industry for 40 years. You got to start. These are all blueprints on the wall. You have to gain certainty. All of you have had certainty at one time. You have. If you didn't have certainty, you'd still be, crapping in your pants, not be able to put clothes on, still be crawling on the ground. If you didn't have any certainty, you've had plenty of moments of certainty. And over time, I've learned certainty, some of it through force, right? In the martial arts world, I've had the kind sensei and I had the crazy sensei. The one that what's called a bamboo sword. Some of you, if you've been in my world, you probably experienced a bamboo sword. My son has experienced the bamboo sword. If anybody understands bamboo sword, type in bamboo. You may not, but it's a sword that's made out of bamboo that's used in kendo, and like you could hit somebody with it, and with the right gear on, you won't break something. But with no gear on, it becomes a way of human conditioning, is what I called it. And just like any good sensei, when you get hit, you hit other students, right? Because you gotta carry it down. And then I learned certainty through, like, any of you that have kids, you had to be forced with a sense of certainty, right? If you have kids, type in kids, right? You had to be forced in a sense of certainty, because that baby's, when it's out, it's counting on you. It's counting on you. And then there's times where you have to get certain because you're confused, right? This is a state of constant thinking. And when you're on stage with people, like, I was in Jay Abraham's world for a long time before I was physically on stage with him. And I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you the first time on stage that I had to find certainty really quick. If you're going to be on stage and talking to people, and you're going to be on with the highest paid consultant on earth, you have no choice but certainty. Now, I've been able to condition myself for that. My wife, I think she asked me not too long ago, someone else asked me, like, hey, when you go on stage, do you get nervous? And I said, no, but really what I was saying was, in my mind, I get certain. Like, next week, when I step on in front of 1,200 people, if someone's going to be there, you will see there will be no wavering. There will only be certainty. And now this is the result of certainty. And I don't say this to brag to anybody. I just say it because when you take on certainty, you can create your best life ever. Like, I was just thinking today, like, My wife and I did a bike ride this morning. We made lunch together. We did another bike ride. We live at the Jersey Shore full time. We made dinner together. Like, that is creating a life by design. And write this down, life by design, and under it, certainty. I promise you, every single one of you can do it. Every single one of you can go to the next level of what you want. This year, when I did under $1 million and struggled and said, I can't hire people and all these excuses, I will tell you nothing changed until my brain made a new decision. And the decision was this. And somebody asked me probably 5 years ago now, they said to me, did you know that you would create a $30 million service company, 200 employees, 165 trucks, double-digit profit, and sell it in 2017? Did you know? Well, the selling part, I didn't know 2017. But the rest of it, I knew it at the point I made a decision. I knew it. Like right now, and I don't know who else, if anybody else has done it, Hank or Dwayne or anybody, like hold your arm up. Like this morning, every morning, Hank, I get, after I shower, first I did it one time before I showered and the shit rubbed off. I take this black Sharpie marker every morning and I write on my arm right here every morning exactly what my target is. You might as well call that a certainty target. A certainty target. Every morning I write it. Every morning. Sometimes I put a little different shape around it. Sun, the moon, I have some cool, like a book. This was a shape called New Beginnings. It looks like a half a sun. And inside of it, I wrote exactly what's happening. Exactly what's happening. And you might choose to do that too in your life. You might choose to do that too. And same thing here. If you're gonna, and how many of you, let's do a little survey here. How many of you on this training entered my world through the world of CEO Warrior, or me teaching on a podcast business, or me talking at a wet show, or me, whatever, talking in the world, or like, how many of you entered my world that way? Yeah, podcast, CEO, right? Now, would you have ever entered my world, did business with me, learned from me, if I stood in front of you and said, I think we could do something good. I think we might be able to grow your company. I think, no, right? No way in hell. Nobody would be in my world if I was in a state of confusion and not certainty. Now, of course, look, I could back up my certainty with real results over time. And I could also back up my certainty with real punishment, right? I have plenty of punishment and bad things that have happened to me that conditioned me into becoming more certain. I love the samurai sword. Well, eventually I got to put one here so I could grab it. I have it there, and I got the big horse cutter over there. But when them swords are being built, they're only built from certainty. And here's what gives me, when I went back and built this, I started looking at, and I was talking to Aaron, I'm like, we got to make sure if we're going to talk about certainty, like we got to talk about certainty that could apply to relationships. It's over 3 decades. And then martial arts, over 3 decades. What I'm going to share about martial arts, don't worry about if you do martial arts or not. But if you do, type in martial arts in the chat bar, because I get excited, like if you're in that world. My instructor told me something so many years ago. He said, it's not who trains today, it's not who trains tomorrow. It's who's training 20, 30, and 40 years from now. That's what he told me. Now apply that to relationship. It's not who's in a relationship today and not in a relationship tomorrow. It's who's in a relationship 20, 30, and 40 years from now. And business building, 3 decades. Helping people mind blocks, 3 decades. You don't produce content and books without a sense of certainty. And then being on stage with these people, right? And now I'm very certain on what we're doing. And I'm not done. I'm not even, and I hope you write it down maybe. Consider this. I write down, I'm not even warmed up yet. I'm not even warmed up. Maybe I'm level 52. What level are you? I would never say old. I'm level 52. Like maybe I'll be warmed up by the time I'm level 60. We'll see. You guys could check in. Maybe 70, I'll finally get warmed up. We'll see. But here's the deal, because if you're gonna, who wants to make an impact in the world? Type in impact. Maybe it's not today, maybe it's not tomorrow, but you know you're built on this earth to create impact. I call the people in my world catalytic impactors. Catalytic impactors, because I know that they will create a catalyst that will just roll and impact the world. I'm very certain, and people, when I first said it, maybe a year and a half ago, I said, we're going to impact 1 million people or more in 100 countries or more in a decade or less. Now, don't humor me, but tell me in the chat bar, do you think we're off to the races here? Do you think we're off to the races? Of course we are. You're here. You're part of this. You're not part of what we're doing. You're part of believing in shifting the world. The world's not going to do it alone. It needs people. It needs powerful people. And you already heard great stuff, so I don't have to talk about more people saying great stuff about me. Let's dig into strategies here. Okay, let's dig into some strategies about certainty. What it takes to achieve anything. What is it? Type in the chat bar. Anything. See, life is full of targets. Whether it's a simple target like just going to the store, or a major target like creating legacy-style wealth and lifetime of impact. Who wants legacy wealth? Type in legacy wealth. People tell me they want this, and I sit here and say, do you really want it? Because if you do, you hunger for it. You have a hunger for that. And in other words, there's two components in life, simple components: where you are now and where you want to go. And there's the space between them. Now, if you were on the chaos, who was on the chaos webinar that we did, the chaos one? Type in chaos in the chat bar. I see some hands going. Okay, well, you're going to love this because this is the next step after chaos. See, if you remember chaos, we talked about where you are now and where you want to go. And we talked about that there's lines here. And these are different action items you're going to take. And we said it's not the actions, it's the thinking. But because that was about chaos, this stacks on it. It's not just about the thinking. Ready? It's about the certainty of the thinking. See, all of you can sit here and go, I want to become a deca millionaire, and I want to be it in the next decade. And I go, okay, that's great. And then my next approach would be, well, what chaos is there that you have to remove? What resistance? And then how do you have to think about the resistance? And then there's the certainty to go exactly where you want to go. I call this the decade game. Once you could do it in a decade, then you could go for a half a decade. It took me a decade to do the first one. I call that training. That's training. Okay. The second company that I built, I did it in a half a decade. I call that mastery. Mastery. Now, most people, okay, they overestimate what they could do in a month and underestimate what they're going to do in a decade. Like a decade, right? And I'm one of these freaky people. Like, I don't do like 2025. I do like 2030, which means there's like 8 years now. So if you want to be in the decade game, I would just say you got 8 years. Which 8's a very magnifying number, just so you know. If you ever want to look up what 8 stands for, I'll give you, do you want a little secret bonus and you'll test it? Type in bonus in the chat bar. Type in bonus in the chat bar. I'm a believer. I'll show you how much of a believer. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. I'm a believer. So if you look at my iPad, someone told me the number 8 is a frequency number that brings wealth. And I said, okay, I don't know if it's true or not true. I'll test it. So I went to Home Depot and I got some of the, you put it on a mailbox, Hank, little stickers, number 8. I stuck it on my, you can't see it here, but it's on my laptop. It's on the iPad. And normally if I peel this cover off, there's one on the phone. I got to tell you, I don't know why it worked or how it worked, but the sucker worked because things changed again. Now, is that the only thing that created certainty? No, we're going to go through other stuff. So why don't we call this, by 2030, are you willing to play at a level of certainty to get to the exact life you want by then or sooner? Give me a little action in the chat bar so I know. Tell me if you're in this together with me. I'm not going nowhere, everybody. So I'm going to be here with you going through this journey. Look, I'm going for 500 million this time in another company I have just for fun because I never did it. And that's what you do. You grow by breaking boundaries. Write that down, everybody. You grow by breaking boundaries. When you break a boundary, 2 things happen. You either set another target or become complacent. Who's become a little complacent in their life? Type in complacent. There's no judgments here. All the time people enter my world and they're complacent. And they say to me, well, Mike, if I get in your world and do more stuff with you, what will happen? Well, I'm pretty sure. And do I have to worry about cursing here? If cursing's going to offend you, let me give you a couple choices here in case, because I'm getting cranked up. 1, you could pray for me tonight. That's always cool. 2, you could change the word you hear into another word. Or 3, you probably should leave right now because I want to be myself and not a fake for you. Okay. I don't want to be a fake for you. But here's what I know for a fact. I know that for all of you, when you're in a world of certain people, you become certain quickly. You do. Is anybody been in the military here? Type in military if you've been in the military. Anybody? Okay. Well, we'll give it, maybe sometimes this thing lags, but if we have military people, thank you for it. Do you think the people in the military have any lack of certainty? Leslie, thank you for your service. Whole bunch. Zach, does the military have any lack of certainty? No, you're conditioned for certainty. Because if you don't have certainty, people die. Okay. Now, what is uncertainty? You have to know what uncertainty is. Uncertainty is anything inside yourself that keeps you from achieving your target. To fully understand uncertainty, let's look at a couple things, right? And you tell me if this ever happened to you before. Like you start something but stop way too soon. Come on, tell me in the chat bar. Have you ever did that? You're like, I'm going to do this and this and this. And it's like, boom, stop way too soon. What about this one? I start it, I stop it. I start it, I stop. I start, I stop. It's like martial arts. Every now and then someone, Hank, it's so funny. Somebody said, oh yeah, I used to do martial arts when I was 10. I'm like, you're level 60. It don't fucking count. Okay? The fact you wrestled when you were 8 years old don't mean shit in the world of nothing today. It doesn't. It's a good story. No one's impressed by that story that you did it when you're 8. Only your mom loves that picture, right? Only your mom loves the picture. Now there's doubt. How many of you have ever had doubt before? Type in doubt, right? Yeah. Or uncertainty is you have confusion, right? Whole bunch of confusion. Now answer the simple question for me. Leslie, will you get to here with all of this here? Everybody answer it. The answer is no. You won't. You won't. Let's look at what certainty is. Certainty, okay, is the absolute belief, your ability to achieve a clear target. It's fuel for your action that moves you faster on a straight line towards your target. I love when people tell me something's not going to work. Most of the world crawls in a hole. Me, I get fueled. I don't know about you. When I told the world I was going to grow the largest service company in New Jersey, you know what they told me? There's already big ones. They're all over the place, Mike. 10 times your size. How are you going to grow a big service company? This company's there. They're 20 million. This one's 30 million. This one's 10 million. You're 1 million. Translation, what they were trying to tell me. And tell me if you have anybody in your life that kind of said this, but insinuate like, here's the phrase. Ready? Are you ready for this, Mike? Just quit while you're ahead. Permission to throat chop them, unless they're directly related in your children. Okay? Permission to throat chop everyone else that says, just quit while you're ahead. I want you to consider adopting this. I refuse to participate in your belief system about what's possible for me. Let me say it again. I refuse to participate in your belief system that you think applies to me. I only have, Silvio, my belief system. Then I started CEO Warrior, and they laughed at me because I called myself the business ninja, which I was trained in Takadaru ninjutsu. Most people don't know that. It is a ninjutsu, very old form of ninjutsu, but they didn't know that. They said, look at them, silly, they made fun. And then I built a movement, and I've created more decamillionaires in the last 15 to 18 months than anybody I know. Anybody I know. Why? Guess what? Tonight, I want you to take any negative thing, and negative in the perception of, it's not true. And I want you to everybody just do this. Push it away right now. Dad, I want to see your hand. Like, I just push it away. Come on. I only see you. I'm pushing it. Push it away. No room. No room, baby. No room in this world. There's only one thing from today moving forward, from this moment moving forward, right here. Absolute certainty. Absolute certainty. Now, I'm watching you guys. Let me unshare this a minute. Let me unshare this. Let's do a little feel, Jacob. Okay? Dwayne, Zach, let's do a little test here. Ready, Erica? Jim Padilla? Okay. Just humor me a minute. And those of you that don't have your cameras on, please turn it on so I could see you. Before I said if you're naked, if you're half naked, it's okay. You can still come on half naked. I won't be offended at all, I promise. If anything, it'll be humored. Here's what I want you to do. Just for a moment, humor me and sit in a state of uncertainty. Again, look confused. Come on, how does confused look, Leslie? Put your head down, everybody. Show me uncertainty, Jacob. Jacob, put the name of the young lady in the thing so I know her name too, or rename yourself. Okay, Dwayne, show me uncertainty. Silvio, what does uncertainty look like? Edward, what does uncertainty look like? Come on, show me. Pam, what does it look like? Justin, what is uncertainty? Some of you don't want to see it. Joe Papa, what's uncertainty look like? What's it feel like? Now, ready? In a minute, I'm going to ask you to show me complete certainty, but not yet. Not yet. I want you to really feel uncertain. Like you don't know where the future's going. You don't know what's up with the pandemic. You don't know a recession. You don't know your company. You don't know your relationship. You don't know your health. I want you really to feel it. Feel it as sucky as it could feel. The most darkest confusion you've ever had. And ready? I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. And I hit 1. I want you to snap into certainty. There's no question. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Certainty. Show me certainty for how do you sit in a state of, oh yeah, Hank's up. He's like, I'm up. Uncertainty sits, certainty stands. Feel your breathing now. Feel your shoulders, your chest. And now type in the chat bar, what's possible in a state of certainty like this? Tell me in the chat bar, what's possible in this? See, this is how you have to show up for everything. I didn't used to come home to my wife in a state of certainty. I came home in a state of weakness. If any of you can relate to, like, you're at the job, you're certain, but then you come home to your family and there's kids and there's things, and you all of a sudden show up in a state of weakness. Raise your hand if you've ever felt that. Maybe it's just me. I'm okay. But then I had to make a decision, Jacob, that when I walk through that door, any weakness is going to stay on the outside and the fucking Hulk's going to walk in on the inside. That's how I chose to live. So I'd come in. I told my wife, give me 15 minutes, got myself ready. What do we got to do? What do we got to do? Got to help with dinner, wipe a baby's ass. What has to happen here? Tackle the kids? No, I don't have to do that no more. My son's on here. He's a fucking 6-foot monster. Any of you that do grappling, I could tell you what it looks like today. It's me hitting the ground, Hank, and slapping the fuck out, right? That's what happens today, but it's okay. I'm honored to do that. But state of certainty, let's go back into this. Now, tell me what you've taken away so far. What's up, Rodney? Nice to see you, brother. Steven, type in the chat bar. What are you taking away for you? Don't give me a story about anything else. I only want to know each one of you here. If you're new in my world, I want to become friends. Okay? If you're in my world for a while, I'm challenging you because you've been in my world. Okay? You've been in my world. Now let's look at the certainty matrix. Let's look at the certainty matrix. You're going to love this. I know you are. At the minute you know you love it, just type in love it in the chat bar. Okay? If you want to move faster towards your target, you already love it, Mike. I didn't even go through it yet, but that's okay. I'm going to take the love. Okay. You need to create more certainty. The building blocks of certainty is clarity, and confidence. Feel free to take a snapshot of this. Okay. And can be put into a matrix to measure your likelihood of achieving success. Now let's break it down a little bit. Let's break this down a little bit. High confidence, low clarity. Okay. Low clarity right here, high confidence. Guess what? You run optimistically towards a dream, but not a target. It's just a dream. Let me tell you a dream. Or what about this one right here? Low confidence, right? Low clarity. You aren't sure what you want and you don't think you could achieve it. If you can relate to this block, just type in relate. What about this one? High clarity, low confidence. I know exactly. You know what you want, but you don't believe you can achieve it. I want $1 million in my bank account. I want to be debt free. I want to pay off my house. When I became certain, and remember, guys, any of you that are new and those in my world, please understand, when I'm sharing something about myself, I'm not bragging. I'm not impressed with myself. I'm only sharing it because I want to spark a new thing inside of you that goes, it's possible for me too. I knew I wanted to be debt free by the age of 28. I'm level 52. By the age of 28, my beautiful wife and I, we were debt free, no mortgages, no nothing, by design, because I wanted to make sure, God forbid anything happened to me, I didn't want her to have to worry about all of that. But where do you want to live? Right here. Ready? High clarity, high confidence. You know what you want and you know you could achieve it. Give me a boom in the chat bar, everybody. Give me a boom in the chat bar. There's only one block to live in. And I realize this doesn't happen overnight, everybody. Some of you have 3 decades of conditioning of what you cannot do. You have 3 decades of people telling you what's not possible. You have 5 decades of people telling you you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have a college degree. I got no college degree. I did try to go to a college class, and then it was a math class, and then the professor said, go work with so-and-so, this woman who had like the typhoid flu or something. I'm like, Professor, she's got the flu. He's like, you'll just go work with her. I was like, oh, snap, bitch. I was like, I forgot to tell you I've been on my own since I'm 15. You're used to training kids. Boom. It was like a book, mic drop. F off. I'm out of here. You're confusing me with someone who hasn't been surviving for 5 years already. And I was out there. Good news, I didn't get the typhoid flu from that woman who was snotting all over everybody in there. Okay, she might have been the starter of fucking COVID back then. Who the hell knows? All right, strategy number 3. Give me a number 3 in the chat bar if you're ready for number 3. You ready? Okay, you could have uncertainty, Joe Papa, but you have to be aware. You have to be aware of the certainty deflators, the things that deflate your certainty, right? And our past stories and beliefs, the people we allow into our lives, and our desire for comfort and predictability. So let's look at this now, at deflators, okay? So we have high confidence, low clarity. You're excited, but you haven't created a clear plan. It's a deflator. Or you're feeling, let's change this color on this one. Or you're feeling this, you're feeling confident, right? But your family tells you why it won't work. Oh, it's never going to work. Yeah, it's too many, it's too many marketing companies, too many service companies. There's too many food companies, too many cupcake companies, too many jewelry companies. Does anybody have someone in your life that all they know is it cannot work no matter what? Tell me in the chat bar. Like, do you have that? Like, no, just can't work, can't do it. Too many people, right? Next time they say that, say thank you. Now I know exactly what not to do, how not to behave, right? Okay, low confidence, right? And the low clarity, you have your doubts, so you don't make a plan to avoid disappointment. It's subconscious sabotage. You tried to put a bicycle together. You didn't get it together without help. You now are programmed that you can't build things because you'll always be a failure. Or you're surrounded by, this is a huge one. You're surrounded by unsure people and unclear people. Tell me if you got that in your life at all. Unsure, unclear people. Oh, I don't, it's hard to get employees. Aaron, look up real quick how many people are on planet Earth so we all know. Because I want everybody to know there's definitely no employees left. Okay, there's not any. There's none. I'm just telling you, don't even try to hire an employee. There's none left. Let's see how many billions of people are on Earth. Or you spend more time thinking of things than taking action. Okay, 7.75 billion people. You guys should stop trying to recruit. Who's a business owner? Type in business owner. Don't try to recruit no more. They're all taken. 7.75 billion people. Okay, now analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis. Who's ever experienced this? Type in experienced, right? Like, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if the economy? And what if this? And what if the gas prices? And what if inflation? And it's like, man, I could have already built something by the time you told me the story, right? Or you build a clear plan, but you don't take action in order to avoid risks. These are all deflators. You can have all the certainty in the world, but if you have deflators, it's like blow up the balloon, a pinhole goes in it. Now, imagine, I should get it as an example someday. Why, who knows, I'll probably blow my lungs out or something, maybe if I blow it. But imagine I have a balloon with like 50 little holes in it, Hank, and I'm just like, and things like, you ain't going nowhere with that. You're not going it. That's what life is when you have deflators. You're blowing up the balloon and someone's there popping that bitch. They're trying to pop it. All right, let's go for number 4. If you're ready for number 4, type in 4 in the chat bar. Type in 4. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Okay. Choosing ferocious certainty. Now, I'm going to have to share something about this ferocious side of things. Okay. Most people never get clear on their targets or what they need to do. The most successful people get where they want to go faster by creating this ferocious certainty in themselves, right? So what is ferocious certainty? Ferocious. Now you might look, this may not be your thing. You may not have ferocious. It's okay. It's okay. You might want to try tapping in and see how it feels a little bit. Some people have been, told like, hey, calm down a little bit. People used to try to tell me, hey, relax a little bit. You're very loud. And I go, what? Loud? Where are we going? I say, don't, you can't put baby in the corner, right? What the hell movie is it? Like, you can't do, like, don't silence the power, right? You have a clear path and you relentlessly take action, right? Relentlessly take action. You're surrounded by others who hold you accountable to clarity and confidence. Okay, another honesty moment. Who here needs to be held more accountable? Type it in the chat bar. I see your hands going. Yes. You got to figure that out. You have to figure that out, right? You have daily habits of action. You have mentors who help take action faster. I don't know if anybody on here, was on with me at 3:00 today for the Access Plus I did? Tell me in the chat bar, right? Like, when you're there and you have someone who could help you move quicker without trying to figure it out. Like, I love books, but who has time to read 10 books to solve one problem? When you could have a 1-minute conversation with the best in the world and solve a problem. Don't make sense to read 10 books, right? Or you have people cheering you on. That's good, right? And you have clear action plan with milestones to celebrate. That is called ferocious certainty. Ferocious certainty. How many of you, now look, when I think of ferocious, okay, let me try to get fancy here. Let's see if it will come up. Sometimes I get fancy, I break things. So let's just see what we can do here. Okay, here you go. All right. There. Like, is there any uncertainty there at all? Type in the chat. Is there any uncertainty here? I mean, this is how you have to wake up in the morning, Mike. Right? You have to wake up in the morning like this, like you're holding the earth. That's going to give you a sense of condition certainty. You're not going to have weakness. Things aren't going to get in your way easily. Let's go for number 5 here. And when we end today, don't leave too early. I'm going to run you through a little exercise and we'll crack through some of this. I wasn't going to do it, but I love how you guys are participating so much. We're going to crack through some stuff. Okay, let's look at an example of uncertainty. Okay, I wanted to start a new business. Okay. What is lack of confidence, lack of clarity, right? It's like I wasn't clear on the venture, right? I wasn't clear. What was the result when you were not clear? I made a website and business cards, but then it stalled out. Did that ever happen to anybody? Happened to me years ago. Did it ever happen? And then what did it cost you? Man, I was a little embarrassed. And now what does it still cost you? My wife doesn't think I could start a business. Anybody put my shoes, if you've ever lived in those shoes, like, right? Yeah. Now my wife doesn't think I start because why? Because I tried to start. I wasn't clear. I got started. It didn't work. I was embarrassed. Now my wife, right? Or what about this example? I told everyone I'm going to be a millionaire by this time. And then I have inner doubt. So I don't believe in myself. And then nothing changed and my bank account was still low. What happened? I was embarrassed and struggled with bills. And now I'm embarrassed and still struggling financially. When you're embarrassed, is there a sense of certainty? No. You're not certain when you're embarrassed. There's not certainty, right? There's not certainty. When you're struggling, there's not certainty. I will tell you every single time, any human, I've never had a human that showed me real certainty that stayed struggling. Not in my lifetime. And I've worked with a lot of people the last over 30 years. They tell me, oh, I'm hiring. I said, you're hiring? You posted one thing on Facebook. You posted one thing on Facebook in 2 weeks. You're telling me you're hiring? If you want to hire, you post every 15 minutes of your life till you get someone. You don't post once or twice a week. That's called relaxation. That's not called certainty. I hope I demonstrate. How many of you tripped across like one of the, well, let me ask a different question. How many posts did you see about this training tonight? Tell me in the chat bar. How many did you see? 20. Anybody see more than 20? And Mike, what times a day did you see it? How many times a day did you see it? I didn't need you here. I'm fighting to get you here. And I'm going to get so certain you're going to see it. I'm going to do everything in my power to show up, because I know if you show up, who's feeling a little bit more certain? Type in certainty in the chat bar. You're just starting to feel a little more certain. I don't need a lot. I might be breaking through, 4 decades of bullshit in you. I don't know. Okay, a little more certain. Perfect. Okay, now you have to get to this point. So after this, we assess the past certainty, right? Now we're going to look at ferocious certainty. Example, I want to scale a business. Okay. What did I do? Surrounded myself with people who were achieving higher results. Okay, check mark. I learned from them and grew. I scaled my business and become debt-free. I'm creating a legacy for future generations. Give me a boom in the chat bar. That's certainty. What about the bottom one? I wanted to get healthy, right? I became clear on what I wanted and surrounded myself with others who were achieving what I wanted. I followed a plan, stayed accountable, and achieved my targets. I am healthier, and I felt great about myself. I feel great about myself, and I feel great. My spouse says I look great, and I'm inspiring others who are on the same journey. That's ferocious certainty. Past, today, ferocious. Whatever your definition of ferocious is. Okay. Let's go to number 6. Can you handle number 6? What's your big one for you right now? I'll give you number 6 in a minute, but what's your big one right now? Okay. I want to know your big, what's shifting inside of you. You got to give me feedback, because the only way I could keep you moving forward is with feedback. While you're doing that, I'm going to find, okay, not that. I'm going to find something that I'm going to need at the end of this when we do the exercise. So you type in, and let me do this. Let's go here. I'm going to mute myself 1 minute while you're typing. Put action items too. I want to see some action items. Shame, self-doubt. I want 30 seconds. I want as many action items that you're going to do. Okay, Silvio, Julie, Zach, put action items down. Okay, I got what I needed for later. Let me see what we got here. Get excited about life. Learn from those who have been there. Move in certainty on business, health, relationships. Get accountability partners. Take massive action. Be confident. Okay, write this down. I'm a believer in it. You may not. You could flip me the middle finger. It's perfectly fine. Struggle is a choice. Struggling is a choice. I'm not talking out of turn here, everybody. I've been on my own since I'm 15. I am not talking out of turn. I'm talking to all of you. Struggling is a choice. The minute you decide to no longer struggle, you won't struggle no more. Now, I get it. Some people could have outlier type situations, mental health. I get there could be some things physically or mentally that can cause restrictions. But man, I've watched people with no arms and no legs do things and not quit, which means if you have your arms and legs, you're further there than those people. All right, let's go for number 6. You guys are doing amazing. I am super impressed with this group tonight here. Super impressed. All right, so we have to create a certainty identity. A certainty identity. Your past identity, okay? Your past identity may have lacked clarity and confidence. Tell me if that could be true. Type in true. Could that be true? Okay. But you're not locked into that identity. You don't have to live there. You can create a new identity to help you achieve anything you want. An identity that's a ferocious identity. So you want to mind map how you might add more confidence and clarity, okay? More confidence and clarity in your new identity. In your new identity. Now, here's certainty, right? Here's certainty in the middle. And we know 2 parts of certainty is ultimate clarity and ultimate confidence. Now, you got to have clarity before you have confidence. So what can you do? What can you do here? You could create a clearer vision. That means someone could pick it up, Pam, on a piece of paper and go, I know exactly where you're going. If somebody can't pick it up, okay, Emily, if somebody can't pick it up and read it and go, that's exactly where you're going, you're not clear. You're not clear. And when I ask people, tell me about your future, well, I'm going to move to this state. I'm going to live, in Florida. Okay, Florida's pretty fucking big. Like, where in Florida? Oh, on this part. Like, tell me the street you're going to live in. Tell me the type of house. Tell me what your neighbors look like, right? And then you got to set a date for the target. Because remember, your brain is date and target specific, right? You tell your brain, hey, I want to be wealthy. It's like, cool, I'll give it to you the day before you die. No time, right? It doesn't have a time destination. How do I know your brain works this way? How many of you set an alarm clock and you consistently wake up a minute or 2 before the alarm clock? Type in alarm in the chat bar. Type in alarm. Your brain is like, you told me what's going to happen. I don't need an iPhone to serve you. That's what your brain says. I don't need an iPhone to serve you. I'll wake your ass up before that thing. And what it does, Hank, it's your brain going, just so you know, it's a reminder. So next time you wake up and you like shut the alarm off because you woke up before, I want you to hear my voice going, your brain just told you again, it's more powerful than that iPhone. That's what your brain's doing. It's reminding you like, listen, sucker, I didn't need that. Watch what I do. Okay, now you got to plan the steps, right? And you have to surround yourself with people who will push to clarity, push to ultimate clarity. Tell me, and here's ultimate clarity. Looks, feels, smells like, the color, the temperature. That's ultimate clarity. And then you have to set milestones. By here, I'll be here. By here, I'll be here. Okay. Now, confidence is review past successes. Like, hey, I did that before. All of you are successful. All of you are. If you learned how to walk, you learned how to drive a bicycle, drive a car, start a career, you're successful. You may not be giving yourself, kudos for success, but you're successful. And then plan what you're going to do, right? Confidence is I'm going to plan exactly what I'm going to do. Surround myself. I can't say this one enough. You have to surround yourself with confident people. Get rid of this positive, negative language. Confident people is who I want to be around. And celebrate your wins, even small wins, Brendan, because your brain, if you never acknowledge a win, your brain feels it let you down. And your brain's like, oh, I guess you'll never be happy. So why should I ever give you anything? You're never happy. Do you notice people that are never happy never really get amazing things in their life? Tell me if you think there's some truth to that. Type in truth in the chat bar. Never happy because the brain is like, you're never happy. Why the hell would I let you down now? I'm not going to let you down. You tell everybody you're never happy. Why would I change that for you? I would hurt you by changing it until you change it. And then you create a new conditioning. What's your big takeaway from strategy number 6 here? Tell me strategy number 6. Is it the confidence thing, the clarity thing, or now you're finally seeing that certainty is the combination between confidence and clarity? Yeah, confidence versus positive clarity. I need to build my own certainty persona and make it clear. Yeah, identity. It's going to be your identity, right? Certainty is vital. Yeah. Anybody comes to me, they want to, like, I'm doing partnerships in companies. Like, if I can't sense certainty from them, I'll never do a partnership because I'll be trying to push a small rope uphill. It'll be like trying to push yarn uphill. This shit ain't going nowhere, man. Now, if I get someone who has a so-so business out of the gate, and they literally show up to talk to me, and I'm like, what's on your face? They're like blood from red meat. I'm like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to build an empire. I'm like, okay, you ready for me? Then I'm like, you ready for me? Okay, I'm going to kick down some walls, and then we're going to get started, right? That's what the world wants to be. Those of you that work for people, that's who they want to show up. Someone who's going to kick down the door and go here. Not these employees that whine and bitch about this. Yeah, it's 4:30. I got to go home. I'm like, what? Come on now. You're not building power like that. Okay. You good? Can we keep going? Say keep going. Are we okay here? Are you getting value? Type in value if you're getting value. You guys got me. You got me all excited tonight. My wife's gonna be like, your ass is gonna have to go for a bike ride now because you're all cranked the fuck up here with everybody. Okay. Keep going. Value. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Okay, let me make a quick invitation and then I have another strategy for you. Because I always have people ask. So let me just do a quick invite. Just so you know, I'm not here to sell you anything. We have something called the Freedom Tribe. Some people on here, if you're in the Freedom Tribe or Mastery Level, can you type it in chat bar so they know who's hanging out? If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or a driven, growth-minded person, and if you know that there's so much more in life besides just growing a business, right? And if you realize that you have to 20x yourself if you want to 10x anything, I will tell you, I think I'm going to change what I say. This is the most neglected thing in the world today, is the ability that people invest in personal growth. Most neglected thing on the planet. I am 100% convinced. Now, after my journey, growing empires, working with like thousands of people the last 8 years in business, I am 100% convinced that the most important investment you must make first, don't trust me, go anyone and learn, is got to be in your own personal growth. If you're likely thinking this, like, you need to be around people who don't judge you. You need to get tools to grow in life. You need to figure out how to keep growing your business without letting the life wheels fall off. Who's ever had the life wheels fall off the bus? Type in life wheels. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. When they fall off, it's destruction of the whole family. It's destruction of everything, right? Of everything. And need focus on your health, or you need to elevate your relationships with your spouse. I'm seeing this a lot now with the spouse thing. If you're not growing together, you're growing way apart. And man, I'm watching the gap go too fast, too quick. Too fast, too quick. You need to lead your family and spend more time with your kids. You need to create a legacy style wealth, and you need to move faster in life to achieve everything you want. If any of that sounds like, hey, I might be interested in that, here's the deal. They'll put this in the chat bar. Reach out to us. We'll do a quick talk. If it's a fit the Freedom Tribe, we'll talk about bringing you aboard. If it's not, I promise we'll be transparent. I like to be clear at this point, though. The fact that someone's on here and you have a credit card and you could invest in it does not mean you enter the world. I hope you're pretty clear on who I'm looking for. I need someone that is certain or wants to become certain. That's it. If you want to stay broken, I'm not the guy. We're not the space for you. Food Dog Group will not, Freedom Tribe won't be. It's called Freedom Tribe, to gain ultimate freedom in your mind, your body, your spirit, your life, so you could scale anything at will. Scale anything at will. Okay. So if anybody's interested, you reach out, boom, we'll set up a time. Team will talk to you a couple minutes, get on a call. If it's a fit, we'll talk about how fast you can move in life. All right, let's go for strategy number 7. Surround yourself with certainty. Now, there's an exercise I want you guys to do here. I want you to do an exercise. Not now, you'll do it later. I want you to draw a circle of you. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go to everybody around that you feel has certainty in your life. Like you're like, when I'm around them, okay, they have certainty too. Like they're supporting me. They're motivating me. They're hungry for me. And then I want you to take and create a circle around people that are not certain in your world. Now, I don't want you to cut them loose. Don't finish this call and then go throw someone out of your house. That's not the deal. That won't be fair. They're not on the damn training. Let them watch the training, then throw their ass out of the house, right? But the people that are creating this uncertainty, okay, I want you to be clear with them and say, hey, I want to share where I'm going in life, and I want to share who I need in my life to make sure I'm going to get there. Okay? To make sure I'm going to get there. And when I'm around you, I get a sense of uncertainty from you about me and not certainty. I want to invite you to strongly consider stepping to the certainty side. And here's what this would look like. When I share something, I want you to be curious and not judgmental. I want you to ask me, wow, how will that work? Not that that won't work. If they're willing to do that, bring them into the certainty circle. If they're not willing to do it, it doesn't mean you don't go to mom's house and eat dinner. You just say, Mom, when I come to dinner, here's what's going to happen at dinner and here's what's not. You have one life, at least as far as I know, on this planet with the information we have today. If you have one life, you have to ask yourself how you want to live this one life. Do you want to live it around certainty people, uncertainty people, a combination of both? But look, there is something crosses out the other, right? If you have 10 uncertainty people and 5 certainty, these 10 might turn those certainty into uncertain, right? The power of numbers there. So this simple exercise could just be done in a notebook tonight. It'll take you 10 minutes, and it's probably going to pop awareness for you. Sometimes you have employees that work for you that are bringing uncertainty. Well, anybody that's grew any size company at all, if you have a lot of certain employees and you have uncertain, we normally call those cancers. And I don't know about you, but if I looked at my arm, Hank, and they said, you see that dot? It's cancer. I wouldn't feed it so it grows more. I cut the bitch out as fast as I could. I cut it right out. I wouldn't leave it there and go blow on it and say, can you get bigger? Can you fester into more? I wouldn't do that. That's what uncertainty brings into your life. It brings it into your life. So give me, what's an action item you'll do from this exercise here? What's an action item you'll do from this exercise? Yeah, and Mike, when you have uncertainty, remember, guys, when you have uncertainty, you don't have to cut them off. You have to invite them into the certainty zone. If they're not willing to join the certainty zone, then you have to cut them off. Okay? All right. Let me read this to you. And then I'll see how many of you on. We'll do a quick little exercise. Be fun. Then I'll let you guys go amongst being certain in your life. All right. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points in your life is certainty. Let me unclear this. If anybody of you want to take a quick picture of that so you have it, feel free. And actually, I'll take a quick picture too. I'll use this. I'll post this on my social for you guys too. Tonight, I'll post it for you. Okay. So, got a whole bunch of you left here, and here's what I want to do. Are you willing to do a couple minute certainty exercise with me? If you're all in, type in the chat bar, all in. All right, I got some thumbs up. Now, if you're driving, you probably don't want to do this. Okay, but if you're not driving, I want you to do it. And I want you to play full out because like we just spent an hour and 13 minutes together. Like we all know each other here. All right. Here's what the exercise is going to be. We're going to go back again. And anybody not on camera, if you could become on camera, it'd be super, super awesome. In a minute, I'm going to turn on a little bit of music. And then we're going to crack open some barriers. And it's going to look like this. Uncertainty, certainty. And we're going to go up a level. We're going to go uncertainty again. And we're going to go certainty again. It's going to go another level. Then we're going to go uncertainty one more time and certainty to the level where your hands are in the air, your arms are in the air, you're standing, and you literally in that last moment of certainty, the last one of certainty, you will then put in your mind and visually in front of you exactly with clarity what you desire. Are you all in still? Tell me still all in. Are you still all in? Okay, I got thumbs up. All right. Play full out. And here's what I want you to know, guys. When you show up to webinars, trainings, your life, your job, your career, your business, you have to be all in certainty. Don't follow the masses. Don't follow the weakness. Don't follow that world. Okay. All right. Let me test this music out and we're going to do this. And I'm watching you. So let's do it. Like, let's really, really do it tonight. Let's crack open space and time to the point you go, holy shit. Here, I want you at the end of the exercise to be like, I want to hear you screaming at the screen like, here I am, Mike. Do you see me? I want to see you. I want to see you. Okay. All right. Let me test this, make sure this music works, and then we're going to dial it in. Okay, perfect. Okay, push everything away from you a minute. You don't need anything near you. Nothing. No pens, no paper, no nothing. Okay? Shake your arms out a minute. Move your neck around. Take a quick sip of water if you need it. And a commercial. Let's listen to what this says. You have to respect marketing. Okay. Marketing makes the money wheel turn. All right, here we go. Okay. Now, your eyes are going to stay open for this whole one. A lot of you have done exercises where we breathe and your eyes closed. No eyes closed. Eyes open with me. Okay? Take a deep breath in real quick. Like one of those like top of the mountain breath, like, and breathe out. Just settle in a little bit. Settle in. Take another deep breath in. Ready? And breathe out. A calm breath in, breathe in, breathe out. Now I want you to go to a time, anytime, today, last night, last week, last year, decades ago, a time where you were very uncertain, very unsure. It could have been right between the pandemic. It could have been when you were like in school, wondering if people were judging you, or a time where you were bullied, picked on, or a time where you took on something and lost it. or you were losing it, or it's a job that went bad, or your career went south. Get in that moment of like, you were really concerned. You were very uncertain. You didn't know where to go. You felt all alone. You wondered. You were looking for anybody to just support you. Feel it deeply now, emotionally. You have to feel the weight so you know what you were carrying and still could be carrying subconsciously. But not after this tonight. Take that moment. There you go. Now in a minute, I'm going to count from 3 to 2 to 1. And when I hit 1, I am going to tell you to get certain, real certain. At a moment that your future is starting to become so clear, so aware to you, your shoulders will pull back. You'll start breathing deeper. When I say that moment, you'll stand up, you'll laser eye me, and you will let anything, noise out of your body, movement out of your body, and it will be our first round. 3, 2, 1, certainty. Show me certainty right now. Stand up, look, breathe, move your arms. Start to see your greatest future in front of you. Taste it. Smell. What do you see? Sit in this moment just a minute. Just a minute. Take a seat back down. Sit back down. Uncertain. Uncertain. Somebody's telling you you're not going to do it. Mike, you're not going to do it. Hank, you can't build it. No, Julie, it's not going to happen. Hear the people that are telling you, you know what? You're too old. You're too big. You live in this place. You only have this skill. Get really uncertain about yourself. Hear all the naysayers right now in your life. No, can't do it. Silly thought. Too many. And feel that uncertainty like they're hanging on you, the people. They're just pulling on your shoulders and your arms, holding you down, and you want to go, but they're like, no, you can't do it. You have too many kids. You're divorced. You don't have the energy. You drink too much coffee. You do all this stuff. Just let the world hang on you now and feel what that feels like. Not where you want to be. I know it's not where you want to be. This time when we snap out, I need more, 10 times more power. I need you to stand up faster. I need you to breathe quicker. I need your arms up a little bit. I need you to see your future where you're ready to grab it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Stand up. Certainty. Feel it. Start to grab it. Hold it with your hands. Hold it there. Look at it. See it in front of you, exactly what you want. Is it your relationship closer? Is it your health better? What is it? Is it your company bigger? Is it connection? Is it community? Is it impact? Feel what that feels like. Breathe deeper now. Breathe stronger. Give that smile, that grin of like, did you see me? Let me see the grin. Look at me. Do you see me? Erica's like, do you see me? Do you see me? Okay. One more round. Sit back down. What does it look like in a state of uncertain where you're just a little bit upset? You know that feeling of a little bit of depression maybe bubbling over? You know those like waves of, man, I'm unsure. The world, the news, it starts to fall over top of you. The recession, COVID, people can't fly, right? All this stuff, feel it. Uncertain, what's going to happen next year, the president, my career, my job, my employees. There is no employees. I can't find any. My company's not growing. I'm not growing personally. My relationship's fatigued. I'm letting myself go. I don't feel powerful no more. A state of uncertainty, like really feel it. Feel your face dragging down, your shoulders slumped over. Exaggerate it. Exaggerate this sense of not feeling good? What do you say to yourself when you're uncertain? You're no good. You can't do it. Look what you did. You caused this. Shame, guilt. This is uncertainty. Yeah. It's the state of fatigue, worry. Now, in a minute, it's going to be our last one to snap through. It's going to be your biggest one. I want you to snap into certainty this time at the level of exact success that you want. That you're going to create a ripple through space and time, a vibration that pulls your future to you. Feel it this time. And if there's a time to play full out, it's this moment right now. Your arms will go in the air. Your voice will open up deeply. You might scream out what you're exactly going to get. You might say, now's my time. Get ready. 3, let it build up. Start to breathe deeper. How would a lion start to walk or a lioness move forward? 2, starts to get focused on exactly what it's going to go for, exactly where it's going to get, exactly the future it wants. 1, stand up. Do it right now. Right now. Feel it. Powerful. Strong. Arms up in the air. Grab it. It's yours. Grab your future. Pull it. Grab it again. Pull it towards you. Hold on tight to it. Feel it in your hands. Say, it's my time. It's me. It's now. Right now. Squeeze your fist. Hold tight. And feel as you feel this deep. What are you thinking inside your mind right now? Tell me what you're thinking. See it inside your mind right now. Look at me. Ferocious certainty. Ferocious certainty. Yeah. I see you. I see you. This is the you I see. Take a quick seat down. Take a quick seat. Okay. You guys, I'm impressed. You got me sweating tonight. I'm sweating all over. I know you must be feeling it too. Type in the chat bar, how do you feel right now? You probably didn't know you're showing up for this tonight, right? You didn't know you're showing up for this, but that's okay. You're here. Certainty. Great. What else? I see me. Power. Charged up. Awesome. Strong for sure. Stronger. Bubbly. Okay. More certainty. I've got this. I can do anything. Level up. Unstoppable. Confident. Yeah. Yeah. Powerful. Focused. Great job, everybody. Great job. Okay. Here's what I have for you. I will have one song on the way out. If you guys could give a little love to the Food Dog team on here. I got my son, Michael, on here, my beautiful wife, Jennifer, business partner, Aaron, got Catherine on here. There she is. Give them a little love. They've been here, keeping in touch, posting stuff for you, getting you here tonight. I love you guys. If anybody's interested in the Freedom Tribe, they'll put the link to reach out. Love to see if you fit our world. And here's your song on the way out. Boom.